Good morning and welcome to Chris Effie, and what you're looking at here is a Cambridge Audio power amplifier, a P25 integrated amplifier, and basically it's a 2-channel stereo amp, and it was reported as saying no output. So I bought this from a well-known website, and what I found is on the back plate the cooling fin was bent, but that wasn't the problem. Now, actually opening this up, I found one of the channel fuses, which is here. It's all powered off at the moment. Channel fuse there had blown. Now, when I actually checked the other side of the fuse to ground, she was shorted. So this fuse was okay. So I went around the circuit trying to look for a fuse, look for the short to see where the short is, directly to ground. All the preamps and the main amps are good. They're comparison. The supply voltages, I've got, you'll see there's a rudimentary bridge rectifier there. So measuring on that, I had 120 volts in, something like 120 volts, but I had 32 plus or minus 32 volts, which would equate to the supply voltages for the stages of the preamp to the power amps. So they're okay. The main electrolytic caps, they're in good condition. Actually, I don't know what the size are. 68,000 microfarads at 50 volts. Yep, they look okay. Usually these can dry out over a period of time. And so I took the back off and I went around to see if I could find anything on the back here to try and trace out where the short was. And what I found was coming along to where the fuse is here, and tracing the track back, I had a continued short from the circuits down here. And then what I found was I noticed that there was a capacitor here, and if you look closely, I thought it was a shadow of the light, but it's actually popped its clogs. So that's where the short is. So I have yet to take this out of circuit, but I will take that out of circuit and see if the short disappears. It's a 104, so it's a 1 microfarad. So I haven't got a circuit diagram for this, but I must do a quick search for that. But yeah, so the whole thing is to remove this one and see if I can find a replacement, and go from there. I think I'm going to pop you on the stand, and we'll talk a bit more through it. If I can get you on the stand, that is. Just tighten it up. I'll show with the meter. Hopefully you'll be able to see the meter. Right, okay, don't knock off the camera. So I'm going to see if I can see what it is I'm doing from the screen. So there's the meter. Let's put the meter there. You can see that. If I switch that to ohms, so if I go from ground, to the inside connection of the fuse, you'll see that that's a dead short, reading 0 ohms near abouts. So if I go to the other fuse on the other channel, she's reading about half a meg, 0.7 of a meg if you like, which is what I should see on this one if the circuits are actually identical, which you want them to be because it's a stereo amplifier. So that actually came down to here, to this short. It's about 7 ohms. It's probably just getting, yeah, she's very short, and if I try and squeeze into there as well, it's about 200 ohms or something. Yeah, Yeah, 0.5. So that is a dead short across that cap. Now what I could do, I suppose what I could do is just chop that out of the circuit. With my, I can just chop that out as a quick test, and she's completely scuppered. You can see that, absolutely scuppered. See if I can find a spare one or something. Anyway, get all this gubbins out of the way. Now, first thing to check, once it's out of circuit, is there any more damage? That really has gone badly, hasn't it? Yeah. So that's gone. And first thing to do is to check to see if she's still grounded out on that fuse. And she's not. She's reading about 6k. Still a bit lower than what I wanted, but then I haven't got the fuse in. So, but 400. Well, she's going up. She's going up. Maybe now it's not grounded. So if I get a fuse, let's take the fuse out of the other channel and put it back into there and see what we get. It's a 4 amp fuse. Let's get that fuse out of there and put it into the other channel. No, take my word, if you can't see it exactly, it is there. I know it's hidden by the capacitors, but watch the meter. Let's see if she's, there you are, 1.3 meg, 1.2 meg. And just for academic purposes, let's just go to the other fuse, 0.8 of a meg, without a fuse in there yet. So technically I could run this now, even with this decoupling capacitor removed, and I could go and check all the resistor values, make sure they're not open circuit. Resistors don't usually go short circuit, they go open circuit, but it may have put some stress on these little preamps here or other control amp transistors. So I go onto here, I can always compare with the other side. 271 ohms, that's a diode. I've got 100 ohms, let's say, and 100 ohms there, bit of gubbins left in there. So I think what I'll do is I will just power this up and see if that fuse blows or not. And what I have here is it's a nice little connection block for the mains input, and I can actually, when that shuts down, it brings on the supply to the unit. There's a little neon there to tell you that it is actively live. So when you shut that, the circuit is made by the fuse inside here. It's fused and that connection's made. So it puts the output onto the pins, and the nice crocodile clips here. Anyway, it's a really handy thing to have, especially if somebody actually provides it without a plug. Now what I am intrigued is that there is no earth on this plug, and it's although it's a metal can, it's supposed to be doubly insulated, but it isn't. So, but hey, so what I'll do is I'll connect it in, and let's see, neutral and then earth. Don't worry, there's no mains on this at the moment because the lid's up. Right, you see, the lid's up. There's no mains on it at all at the moment. So when I close that down, now there's mains supplied, and I can switch on. And let's check the fuse. Let's see what we've got on the fuse. I can switch off again. Switch off again. Now the mains is gone. Let's have a look and see if the fuse, and the fuse is still good. So that tells me that as that fuse is now okay, what I need to do is to perhaps inject a signal into this by way of the phono plugs at the back, and see if I get some form of output, I guess. So I'm going to try that, and I'm just going to pause it and get it all set up, and then see how it looks, see if it works. Okay, thank you very much for the minute. I've got a nice little fuse in there, and what I've done is I've set up this tape deck here, and I've got it into the tape deck settings at the back, and I've got it set to tape. It doesn't matter about that. Treble and bass, and the volume, and yeah, let's. This is a bit funky. This volume thing here, and the balance. It's a bit off, but I'm going to start playing it. I'll put everything to the centre. And play it, and it does work. I've got it on headphones at the moment. It's quite a good boost on that. So I just turn that down. Turn it down. There was a nest, a rare nest, a rattling nest, and the nest on the leaf, and the leaf on the twig, and the twig on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the field. That's the mute. And the field down in the valley, oh, rare tree, rattling tree, a tree down in the valley, oh, rare tree, rattling tree, a tree down in the valley, oh. Now on that nest there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg. I suppose what I can do is connect up some speakers just to ensure that the main power amps are okay, but that means everything that's coming in through here, all the preamps, and it's being aligned into here, just like that's fully insulated. Don't worry about the headphones. Now I'll stop that. The music was from my brother-in-law, who'd actually made it years ago. It was a children's tape, and it was called The Big Ship, and it really takes me back, and kids used to listen to it in the car and stuff, and it's very well produced. It really is. And yeah, it's an old cassette, and it's called The Big Ship, and I have a digital copy, and I'm sure that John, my brother-in-law, would be happy for people to perhaps have a digital copy. And yeah, it's got some sections in it where the children can sing along, and it's called The Big Ship. And John Thwaites, what a guy, absolutely fantastic bloke, and a great musician to boot. And they live in Bishops. I always get the place name wrong. Not Newton Abbot, Buckfastleigh. I always get it wrong, Buckfastleigh. So anyway, I shall clean all this up, and there we are, a one fixed power amplifier for the sake of one capacitor. And like I say, I will try it with speakers, but if anybody, I'll clean it all up, but if anybody would like a Cambridge Audio, and I believe they've got a good name, yeah, make me an offer. It shall be going up onto eBay very soon, and I shall sort out the deformations in the backplate. So from me and from John, let's turn it the other way. And from me and John, it's goodbye. And the tree in the field, and the field down in the valley, oh, rare tree, rattling tree, a tree down in the valley, oh, rare tree, rattling tree, a tree down in the valley, oh. Now on that bird there was a feather, a rare feather, a rattling feather, on the feather on the bird, and the bird on the egg, and the egg on the nest, and the nest on the leaf, and the leaf on the twig, and the twig on the branch. Deep breath, John. And the tree in the field, on the field down in the valley, oh, rare tree, rattling tree, a tree down in the valley, oh, rare tree, rattling tree, a tree down in that valley, oh. Now on that feather there was a flea, a rare flea, a rattling flea. I shall leave it there. All right, thanks a lot. Bye now.